1,000 years ago, Huma Dragonbane rid the world of Takesis, Queen of Darkness and goddess of all chromatic dragons, goddess of night, and drove her back to the abyss. 351 years ago, the gods threw down a cataclysm on Kryn. A fiery mountain hit Istar, which was the seat of power of the king priest at the time, which devastated the land, changed the face of Kryn. Thousands of people died, and no one really knows why. Since then, there have been no gods on Kryn. It's now the time of darkness. There's mistrust and suspicion everywhere. There's racial tension. The fact that you've got this far meant that your ancestors had to make some really difficult decisions. The elves have retreated to their homes. The dwarves have gone underground into Thorbodin. The Knights of Solamnia that Huma Dragonbane belonged to there was a rumor that they could have stopped the cataclysm, so people no longer trust the force of good in the world, not the Knights of Solamnia. The mages of high sorcery are seen with suspicion and derision. No one trusts magic or anything to do with magic anymore. And yet, here the four of you are. You found each other through Ispin Green Shield, and you discovered that there is still good in the world. There are still things to fight for, and you are all united, the four of you with Ispin, wanting to do good for your fellow humanoids. And you all had not necessarily following, not for all of you, but a belief that the old gods weren't actually gone, which is another reason you became friends. Now, not long ago, unfortunately, you all received a missive, which I will show you again.
Is this on map tools or
on map tools, dude? So you all received this letter. Dear friend, I am Becklin Uth Viharin. I've heard much about you from our mutual friend Ispin Greenshield. It grieves me to share the news that our dear friend Ispin passed away peacefully here at his home in Vogler. May fortune and the old gods protect his soul. Ispin's friends are holding a memorial for him in the manner he always wanted. It will take place here in Vogler on the eve of the Kingfisher Festival. I write to ask you to do Ispin one last honour and attend. Should you come, accommodation will be available at the Brass Crab. Though the circumstances are sad, I am eager to meet you through our memories to revel in the life of our great friend. And it's signed Becklin Uth Viharin, Knight of the Crown. Since receiving this letter, you've managed to get in touch with each other. And it just so happens that a couple of you have business in the east of Solamnia anyway, on the border of Estland, either going towards Vogler or in Calaban itself. So you've arranged to meet at Scalebane Keep, which is Mark's character Arthas, has a small dilapidated keep on the outskirts of Estwild. It's about 4 days' journey away from Vogler. So Arthur's got in touch with all of you to say that we'll meet at his keep. His manservant, a dwarf by the name of Chert Sparkstone, it would be expecting you. Arthas himself hasn't been back to this region since he was a small boy.
Well, I was 12 when I went away. I've not been back since.
So I'm going to take your map away from you again and give you the map of the area. So Scalebane Keep is just on the border of the map here. That's Vogler, where you're intended
Did you
to
decide on a Sorry, Dave. Did you decide on the floor plan for it? You were having a look, weren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I've
got what I picture it to be. So that's going to take us to where we are at the minute. Now, at the end of last session, I got you to roll d20 because I was going to get you to meet up with each other. I've changed that now. The d20 roll is still going to stand. If I go back to the d20 rolls, but it's going to be the order in which you arrive at Scalebane Keep. So, Mr. Johnson, Leggit is the first to arrive. So what I've got for you is a brief image. This is what I'd envisaged, Mark. Hopefully you're happy with this as a...
Well, you're the boss, mate, when it comes to that. I've got no say in it. You make something that you think is cool.
Well, in which case,
I'm convinced it will be cool.
This is your keep.
That's awesome!
Yeah. So you're all given decent directions. It's all off the main path. As you can see, it's well worn. As Leggit approaches, you can. It's all peaceful, all quiet, all around, but you can smell on the air stew cooking, and you can see a fire emanating from this tower. You can see movement, and as you get a little bit closer, you can see this dwarf going backwards and forwards. I've done Chert as well. Let me give you this picture. That's what Chert looks like.
Oh, geezer.
Yeah.
He's a hill dwarf.
He is a hill dwarf. And he's walking backwards and forwards, sort of fetching bits of firewood and arranging things. So first thing I would like you to tell me, Mr. Johnson, is we might as well get the characters out of the way. So what does Leggit Shadowfoot look like to start off with?
Okay, so quite a weathered Kender from his days on living on the streets and having to sort of beg and borrow and steal and sleep rough wherever he can. He's quite a weathered little chap. Although he does take pride in his appearance, and where he can, he'll get sort of the finer clothes or wear the finer clothes of where he can get it, or whatever he can afford. He chooses sort of finer leathers over just rags. He's got sort of a dark reddish hair, and it kind of sort of naturally sort of spikes up, like pretty much how you see it in the avatar. I don't know if it's there on, you guys can see it, or basically what I put in the group.
Have you not got the Kender top knot?
See, that was a point of contention because he doesn't know. Well, I'll come to that.
Yeah. Because I remember you saying that he was brought. He's not been to Kender home, has he?
Yeah. So it's no. So not that he knows of, at least.
Yeah.
Born
in the wilds, the human lands.
The top knot isn't there.
Well, no, if you've never been to Kender home and you weren't raised by Kender, you wouldn't know any of their traditions, would you?
Exactly,
yeah.
Is he younger or older?
Or middle-aged. He's in his 30s. Yeah.
But he's prime then, effectively.
Yeah.
So that's Leggit. Yeah. And what would the other characters know about Leggit then?
What would they know about him?
Yeah. As you've sort of, you became friends with them, what would you have told them about your past and
about my background? So, he's quite an honest little chap. So, was seemingly abandoned on the streets of Tarsus, and he had to sort of beg, borrow, steal, like I said, in order to survive into his adulthood. become quite an adept thief, vagabond, from aligning himself with such people on the streets of Tarsus. Betting with rogues and misfits. However, after a chance encounter with a seasoned adventurer, not to mention any names, he's now sort of roaming from town to town, sort of seeking adventure. He's got a thirst for adventure that he didn't have before. He was quite happy to stay where he was and steal, rob, pocket, where he could. He does steal from. He's a bit of a Robin Hood character, so he does steal from where he can. He steals from the wealthy to give to the poor. About so he steals from the poor to give to the wealthy. That's back. So he has a bit of a conscience. When that does get better of him, he does give to those less fortunate. While always keeping a little bit back for himself. Doesn't remember anything about his origins. So even though I said seemingly abandoned, he doesn't know if it was abandoned. He doesn't know how he got there. Has very vague recollections of wide open spaces and swirling purple colours, but other than that, nothing. He's hoping on his adventures to find clues about where he came from, if he was actually abandoned, or if something happened to his kin to force him into that situation. And he's now seeking adventure more than ever. He has heard of a rumour, an apparent rumour from armies in the East are recruiting with promises of wealth and glory, lights which have been seen since before the cataclysm. And that's basically him in a nutshell. That's what they, or what I've told them.
Wicked.
He's a very honest and open chap, and he's looking for adventure and lore.
So, you're approaching Scalebane Keep. You've seen Chert. You've had him described to you. How would Leggit? How do you want to approach? There's no one else around. It seems as there's no one else around that you're first here. What would Leggit want to do?
Hoover the roof get past.
So who can he see in the keep?
He can see the manservant of Scalebane Keep. From the letter from Arthas that you received to say we'll meet at the keep, explained that he has a property. He has this keep. He owns this keep. Cherty's manservant was indentured to his family, but Cherty's basically does everything to try and maintain this keep, to keep it running, and keep the property in Calaman running for the Scalebane family. The Scalebane family has no money, so everything's fallen down and dilapidated. He's just a little tank that keeps rolling on.
Okay. So Leggit's going to approach cautiously yet confident in his stealthy approach. So it's going to be quite a quick 1-2 step as he goes up the stairs. He's going to approach with confidence and say, "Hail, friend." So Leggit, Tarsus approaches.
So Chert, he sort of stops what he's doing, and he turns with his grey beard and his bushy beard, and he sort of says, "All right," and then he just carries on doing what he's doing.
I've travelled for many days. Might you have some mead at least? I'm thirsty.
He looks up and said, "Stool ready. About 4 hours. Water, seat," and then he just carries on, cutting up pieces of wood, feeding them to the fire.
Leggit will kind of roll his eyes and like, no drink. Okay. He'll march in and take a seat.
Okay.
So you can.
Church very much. He's quite happy. You might as well not be there. After sort of half an hour or so, you can hear him just mumbling to himself. He starts talking to himself, and it sounds like. Let's have a perception check just to see if you can pick up what he's on about.
Oh, there we go. It'll be a 14 character.
14, yeah. He's saying it's not been. You can sort of hear just in the background. He's chuntering about the fact that we're left alone for the past 20 fucking years, and fucking Kender's suddenly fucking arrived, and he's chuntering to himself that the first guest he's had in 20 years is a Kender. This is how would Leggit deal with this sort of racial slur from the dwarf?
He doesn't have that much affiliation with his kin or his Kender race. It kind of shrugs it off. Kind of just tapping on his knees, kind of awkwardly, kind of waiting to see what happens. Like a little bit impatient.
Cool.
Yeah, he kind of shrugs it off because he's not, take it to heart.
Wicked. It is something that you've heard everywhere you've been. As soon as you appear, you very much, even though you're not from a Kender background, as soon as people see you approaching, they instantly go to check and cover their pouches and cover their wallets, and you've gathered what Kender are like, and it sounds like you don't take it personally, which is a good thing.
No, because if the shoe fits.
So perhaps an hour, maybe a little bit longer goes by. It is autumn, by the way, but the trees are still green. They haven't turned yet. Early autumn. Maybe an hour and a half or so. Chert's still chuntering away, preparing this meal, and it does smell delicious. You can smell the sage and the herbs coming off, and he keeps adding little bits as he's going. Eventually,
Cal's fine. Cal for short.
I've been practicing it, Sam, and now I've bluffed it. Kelevendros is the next to arrive. So Kelevendros, as you arrive, you're checking your directions. You can see Scalebane keep in front of you. Through the doorway, you can see the figure that you would have been described as Chert walking backwards and forwards, and you can see your old friend Leggit sat there, sort of looking wistfully around as if he's trying to either blend into the background or think of something interesting to say, and failing miserably at both. So tell us what Kelevendros looks like.
So Kelevendros is, I don't know, 6'2", 6'3". He's quite a young looking, but he is also a half elf, so it's kind of hard to age him as such. He's got like a dark, like browny red cloak with the hood pulled up, so you can only really see bits of his face. It's two-handed sword kind of sticking over the back with a backpack pulled on top, so it's quite clearly stored rather than ready for a fight. A short bow kind of attached to the side of that on one side, and a hatchet at his side that looked more used for wood cutting than anything else. Kind of wearing simple, quite travel worn, so there's lots of like mud, but they're quite well looked after clothes. And as he kind of sees Leggit, he kind of pulls back his hood to reveal his hair's actually down to hide his half-elf ears, which you would all know to be unusual. He used to carry, in their younger days, he used to tie his hair back so you could quite clearly see his ears. He was never tried to hide his lineage. And then seeing Leggit, he would quite loudly shout, "Yeah, Leggit, my old friend, it is good to see you," as he kind of just starts walking straight up the path.
Liking it.
Yeah. So Chert stops and looks up. He looks round towards Leggit and he's fucking 20 fucking years, and you can hear this chunter happening again. Similarly to Leggit, Kelevendros will be used to racial tension as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So what would the other characters know about Kelevendros?
So you know certainly when you all first met him, certainly he was quite hot-headed and brash. In fact, that's how he came to meet Ispin. Due to an incident, I think, with Leggit, if that's all right. But you know that the time travel with Ispin kind of tempered him a little bit and calmed him down, as he kind of got a little bit older and a little bit wiser to the world. You would also know that was probably told you one night where he may have had a few too many to drink, that he's in fact a son of the Crownguard household. But it's something that is, a secret and is not something that he displays. So he doesn't introduce himself as Kelevendros Crownguard, but simply as Kel. So
We know your full name minus the. So we know you're Kelevendros.
you would know
But
that
we
he
don't
also
know
has...
about the.
No, you would. He probably told you one night
yeah.
when he was, in his cups.
You have
maybe.
just said that. I do apologise.
But it's not something. It isn't something that's common knowledge. He
Yeah.
keeps it very close to his chest. So.
Oh wait.
So Kelevendros has just approached Leggit then.
Yeah, and he kind of opens his arms out looking for a hug from him, I think.
Bring it in, brother.
Yeah, it's good to see you. And then jokingly and very obviously, yeah, like when he steps away, very obviously and jokingly pats himself down. It's been too long, my friend. And you must be Master Chet. Thank you for your hospitality. And kind of just gives him a slight bow.
Okay, let's have I'm going to have a persuasion, some kind of charisma check from you then.
There's no diplomacy. Diplomacy. It's persuasion, isn't it?
Yeah.
You nearly called him Sam, didn't you, Dave?
I did. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that forever.
It's fine. Our own mother does it to me, so normally it's Ben Sam.
I got really confused when you did it earlier, Dave. I just realised, and I was thinking, I've been thinking that was Tom the whole time, and it is.
So 13. You can see he sort of raises an eyebrow and he inclines his head and he looks back towards the Leggit and he sort of seat, water, stew, 2 hours, he says. But you can tell he's just being surly. He's not being rude. He's just used to his own company. Pushing it forwards, then you can see how I'm introducing the characters. We go. You're catching up with Leggit. You're sort of exchanging war stories. Chert's going to and from, putting extra bits of turnip in the stew and all those kind of things. 2 hours go by, and you can hear in the distance. The road it's only a quarter of a mile from the entrance to the keep, but you can hear a wagon travelling along the road. And as you look up, you can see through the foliage, the flash of steel. And there's a cart, a couple of horses pulling the cart. It's manned by what looked like 3 heavily armed people and a young boy leading the horses. So Arthas Scalebane is next to arrive. Arthas is arriving with 2 fellow Knights of Solomnia, Sir Brian and Sir Justin. With you is Reese.
It's adjusting a side bot.
It's adjusting side bottom. We can we? So,
That is, the game mate at work told me this. When I worked at one of the
go on then.
Oh, what do you call it? What do you call a gay man with a really small penis? And it's just inside bottom.
Well, he's adjusted side bottom now. Then I mean, there's no changing that. So Brian and Sir Justin are sat on the cart, and Arthas is walking in front with Reese. Reese is a boy from the village over that you've hired the cart off just because your journey's long. He's been hired to take you and the supplies that you have to Vogler. When he reaches Vogler, he's going to return back to his farm, and the exchange will be complete. What's
the plan, Dave? Are we supposed to be meeting, spending the night here, or are we meeting up, having something to eat, and getting off?
Yeah, no. The plan is to spend the night here. So Brian, Sir Justin, and Reese are going to continue on. So they're going to drop you off here, and then you'll catch up with them in Vogler when you eventually arrive. And that's what happens. Arthas, you say goodbye to your two fellow knights. They wander off, and you can see in front of you your keep, the boyhood keep that you grew up in and around. It's changed significantly. It was
a big grin will break out on his face when he sees it. It's
right.
Like, I remember this.
So, what do the other characters see when Arthas approaches?
Well, I'm probably the way I've envisaged this is that I've known Ispin a long time, but I think I've only known you lot for a few years, and we met at some point. You guys and Ispin were on what was the isle called? Is it
Sanchrist?
Sanchrist, which is where I've been. And that's how I got to know you through Ispin, and we had our little adventures and what have you. I'm a little bit shabbier than you remember me. I used to be pretty smart, pretty snappy, but now my hair's long, a little bit unruly. The only thing that's still utterly pristine is my phenomenal handlebar moustache. Proper General Melchett moustache. Yeah, and when I come up and I see Chert and the others, I'm just going to leg it in. So, lads, it's awesome to see you, and I'm going to drag Chert in as well and insist on a group hug, and he will grumble a lot, but he's doing it. And as far as his personality goes, he's my family's very distantly related to. Humour, the legendary Humour, but our branch of the family, since my grandfather fell on hard times, and all we've got left in the world really is this keep. My house where's my house, Dave?
Calaman,
which is in much better repair than this. In fact, it isn't in repair. And the old dwarf who swore his service to my grandfather for something. I don't know. He won't talk about it. I never knew what for. And I know that when my dad did pass away, he'd left a bond with the local authorities to ensure that the old man got his wages till he died. And in return, he's just been doing as much as he can to maintain the two properties going between. Obviously, it's too much for one guy. I don't hold that against him at all. I can just remember him as a kid being really miserable and a bit racist, but he was always very loyal, very very steadfast, trustworthy. So I insist he gives us a big hug, and I'm excited to see my old mates again. It's where I've been stressful and shit, and it's just so nice to remember some happier times, even though we meet for a sad reason.
How long has it been since we were all together, Dave? Have a rough idea on that, or?
It's up to you guys. What do you reckon?
I mean, I would say a few years.
Yeah,
probably. Maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
Does that
works for
sound
me.
sensible since we
Yeah.
last?
That works for me.
Yeah.
What's our reason for all knowing each other? I know it's through Ispin. What have we done together to make us so?
Well, I think we all adventured together, didn't we? We'd have all adventured together a couple of years. So in my head, I'd envisioned, and I think that might have been to do with the way we were discussing it, is that you knew Ispin first, then I joined you guys, and then it was Arthas and Nordan. So we all adventured together for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will have met you guys probably about 12 years ago, maybe, for the first time when we were over on Sandcrest with Ispin. But I've known Ispin since I was little, and it was like when I turned up at 12, when I was 12, when I moved over there, and he was almost like even though he wasn't a knight and he wasn't strictly honourable, he was obviously a sound character, and I sort of looked up to him as a bit of a kindly uncle type figure. But so I've known him the longest, but I've known everybody else the shortest. If that does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, so almost like he was in and out whilst you were a child, because he's as an adventurer, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd got business in that area, and he was around. Come back and leave, and come back and leave, and I'd always look forward to him coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad to see. We'd always had fun, and I'm made up that even though it's for a sad reason, we know it's been had a good life, and he died how he wanted in a warm bed.
So are you quite obviously a Knight of Solemnia? I know you've got your handlebar moustache, but have you got sort of rose?
I've only got chainmail. I've only got chainmail armor, haven't I? So
you could have a surcoat or something, or
I would. I'd probably have a surcoat with a one of the symbols on, which would be. I mean, with.
I was going to ask what order are you from? Are you from?
Is the rose the one that you said tends to be more castery, Dave?
Yeah. It goes crown, sword, shield in terms of usual progression. Crown, sword, rose in terms of usual progression.
So I'd be in that case. I'd be crown. It'd be a crown. The symbol with whatever that. It's not just a crown, is it? There's some sort of.
Yeah. But it has. I mean, it has the knighthood has changed significantly since first edition, and you can just join the rose, or you can go straight to sword. You can look into that later, but you would identify. But the only reason I ask is because Arthas would have been everywhere you go. You would have been ridiculed for presenting as a Knight of Solemnia. You'd be mistrusted most places that you go. You walk into an inn, straight away everyone goes quiet and turns their back to you, type thing. Which is another reason that you all know each other and you're all friends, because you're all accepting of each other for who you are and what you are. So I'm going to have a roll from you then, Mark. Let's have a perception check.
Perception. Where is it? There we are. Oh, I don't even know what I am.
Tidy. So as this group hug, as Arthas sort of grapples you all and throws you into this hug, you hear this sort of grumbling noise, and you can see as you sort of pull back just to take everybody in. Arthas can see Churtney, and he says, "Hey, son, water."
Good to see you, old man. Good to see you.
Water, seat, stew, 1 hour. And he sort of carries on
Was
about his
Irish,
business.
yeah.
He does seconds.
Was Irish, he's gone to Scottish.
Mate, I was trying for Cornish.
Oh, yeah.
So, and another hour goes by, and Nordan is the last to arrive.
Oh.
So, what do we see when Nordan approaches then, Sam?
I'd like to think he would try and sneak up on one of the two knights with his bow in hand, and just sort of gently push him on the back, and jestfully sort of say,
What about you there,
"Give me
mate?
all, give me your purse, you brigand."
Right, roll stealth.
Ooh. That's
Okay.
not a good way to start.
So, what's going to happen is all of you have a passive perception higher than 9. So all three of you are aware of the fact that Nordan seems to be trying to prank you. And in fact, as Church's going about his business, he sort of surreptitiously, under his breath, to you three and said, "Yes, do you three see this fucking idiot elf trying to sneak up on us?"
And yeah, Caleb will respond in a kind of
We'll
quiet
say,
voice.
yeah, we've seen. Don't worry. He says, you know, he's, we know him. He's all right.
Let him play his game. Just kind of winks.
He's our friend that we have to take. Our mum makes us take him out.
So what does he look like, Sam?
So he average sort of height, medium build, young male elf, very much like his picture, so blonde hair, green eyes.
What flavour elf are you?
High elf.
Is that the Qualinesti or the Silver
That's the
Nesty?
one, yeah.
Qualinesti, yeah. Yeah, they're blonde and beautiful generally.
Yeah. And
I was just letting
in
you
his,
see
in his red robes, a very slight build. Not, he's not a big chap, but you know why. Because he, as you guys would know, he's a mage of high sorcery. So obviously, his magical efforts take the toll on him, as it were. But him to be rambunctious and happy and charismatic and
the anti-raceland.
yeah. And he'd probably respond to the dwarf and say, "No need for that, for such a great cook smelling such a fine meal. No need to be so grumpy, my little friend." And it's constantly in jest. You know him. He's a joker. He likes to laugh. He generally isn't racist or mean towards people.
Excellent. And what else would everyone know about him then, Sam?
That he intends to go through the trials. He's probably spoke about it at some point. Yeah. So they know he's a mage of high sorcery. They know that he intends to take the trials when the time's appropriate. And he's questing for knowledge to gain power, but not to do good. He's wants that power to do good with it, not to do evil. It's not just the way he conducts himself. It's just not in his nature.
Sound. So Chert will say, let's have another roll from Nordan then. It'll be another charisma roll. Let's have probably another persuasion, I guess, just to see if you've warmed the old fella. Not so much. He's still persuasion +7. Sound nice. He'll sort of say, and this is uncharacteristic for him. Arthas would know this. You didn't spot it before, but there's sort of a little bit of a little bit of wetness in the corner of his eyes. He sort of looks up at Arthas and Nordan, and he says, "This is them then, my young master. That was Cornish.
Yeah.
These are the ones that are going to guide you through. They'll do. As he turns back towards the stew, you can hear what sounds like a scream a high-pitched, shrill scream coming from further down the road. And it's followed up by a shout of desperation. What do you want to do?
So as soon as he heard the scream, Cal would have drawn the greatsword from the sheath that was still attached to his backpack, shouldered the blade, and just he's going.
I'm right behind him. I've got my shield off my back, drawn my long sword, and I'm going in. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Everyone else follow him?
Yeah, I'll be shouting. Why wouldn't we run away from the danger?
Wicked, Sam. So as you get to the road travels from east to west. As it turns east, you can see running up this rough mud road. Reese is running back towards you, and he's got sweat dripping from him. This 12-year-old lad, wringing wet through. He's as pale as a ghost, and he looks like he's just seen a ghost, and he's panting hard. And he's pointing over his shoulders, and he says, "Attack the cart! Help!" And he collapses to the floor. He's not injured. He's just very pale, and he has collapsed in front of you. What are you going to do?
I'll run over there and sort of sit him up, make sure he's breathing, sort of thing.
Yeah, he's breathing. He's just. It looks like he's collapsed through either exhaustion or shock, or yeah.
Can we see anything? In the dark. It was pointed, wasn't it? Can we see anything going on up there?
No. The road is totally clear. I mean, since you arrived, you're talking perhaps an hour, maybe an hour and a half now since you went by.
Oh, so they've got some distance then.
When I'm happy that he's okay, I'll say, "Weapons out, lads. Let's go." And jog on, literally jog on. We're walking here.
So I think Cal will just nod and just say "on you," and he'll stick to your left shoulder at all times, like proper battle formation. That's where he always is when we fight.
And I've got I did get it. I did take that feat, didn't I, Dave? Well, that thing where I can protect the person next to me with a reaction.
You did, yes, because you wanted to use a reaction for something. Didn't
I
you?
wanted a reaction. I didn't have any. It's always nice.
Okay, so let's and it feels like putting on a perfect pair of shoes or a perfect pair of gloves. You're straight back into your formation. You've got Kelevendros and Arthas up front with Nordan keeping pace and Leggit running along behind. Let's have a group perception check.
Perception.
So what we got? 15, 2 15s.
6 or 7,
8. Still not too bad. So, okay. In the distance, the road opens and it's quite clear. You can see a wrecked wagon which lies toppled, surrounded by armoured corpses. This is Sir Brian and Sir Justin, and the wagon is destroyed. Strange figures are picking through the remains. Let me give you a picture.
Sorry, just a quick retcon. Cal will be on your right shoulder because he swings right to left.
Yeah,
So
no,
he'll be on
that's
your right side.
yeah. That sounds cool to me.
And what you can see picking through the wreckage, Sir Brian and Sir Justin aren't moving, and you can see black cloaked figures.
How many of them?
There appears to be 6, and they aren't aware
meant to
of
be
you.
a picture of them?
Say again, sorry.
They're meant to be an image of.
Not just yet. I'm gonna hang fire for a second.
Well, there's no way I can let this. They might still be alive. I've not. We've got to do something, even though it's. I reckon we try and get everyone get a ranged weapon of some kind, except for our magic man who does his magic. Can we get a surprise round in on them if we all? I've got a throwing axe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So as well, you'd need to try and get closer, a lot closer. So this would involve.
Yeah, my stealth is terrible. Yeah, yours will be as well, won't it, Tom?
It's not great.
Andy, what's yours like?
I get +1 to
Fine.
it and disadvantage.
Snap.
So I've got a +7 stealth.
I've got a
Okay.
+3, so unless we approach, then you guys charge in.
Yeah, we'll have to hang back. That's really bad. But if they can get a surprise round in, we'll just get ready to charge. Back them up.
Okay.
Because when they hear us coming, it's point. I've got disadvantage. I don't make these things when I don't.
Let's have stealth checks then from from Nordan and Leggit.
I strongly suspect these boys can stealth like bastards.
Oh, normally, yes.
Okay. Bear with. I need it.
If you can, guys, if they sort of come at you, run behind us rather than standing taking it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you see as you try and sneak around? Oh, and as you're approaching, you've got the road in front of you. The wagons and these robed figures are in front. Were you both going round? Were you going together? What was the plan for the two stealthers?
I'm thinking flank.
Separate.
Game, but
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you start into the underbrush, it's surprisingly Leggit that. I mean, the classic is you'd step on a twig or something of that nature. 5 of the 6 creatures just carry on doing what they're doing, but the last one looks up, and when he turns to you, you can actually see from his back, underneath the cloak, wings, and as he spins towards you and pays attention to you, you see this.
Oh.
And it's
What?
something that none of you would have ever seen before. The bestial features of this creature. You've seen Dragonborn before. You've seen half dragons before. You've heard of these lizard men type creatures, but you've never seen anything quite like this. And the way it moves, the way it flicks its tongue appears, and everything about this creature is totally alien to anything that you've seen before. And the one in front of you, you can see drool dripping from its mouth, and as it's hitting the ground is hissing.
The ground is hissing.
Yes, this saliva drops, and as it drops, it.
Oh right, yes, I'm getting you now. Mind you, I can't see it anyway.
And
Is there not a knowledge check we could roll to see if maybe I've read about them?
you can have on now that it's aware of you, it calls to the others, and you can just about hear in this sort of hissing. It is common. He is speaking common, and he's saying, "You 4, kill them." And as he turns to you and the others start to approach, you can see that they're all wearing the same symbol. You can make a religion check or a history check if you wish.
I'd go with history if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back, folks.
Ugh.
There's something about the symbol that makes you think you should know it, but they all wear a symbol. They belong to a faction or a group, but you're not entirely sure. As 4 of them, their wings spread, and they start to run towards you. Let's give you a battle map. Right.
Like a good battle map.
So
Are we playing the game, Dave?
You what, dude?
Are we playing the game?
Oh, what's it one?
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't arrived yet. I'd like to. Mark can't, obviously. So, if you don't, do you know what Tom's on about? I'm guessing that Andy won't know. With this campaign, they've also released a tabletop battle simulator game as well. And I'd kind of intended to, for the four of us, because Mark won't be able to make it, to actually figure out how to do it and have some actual real life gaming.
That would be wicked, but that's not what I was talking about.
Oh,
He was on about the Mark game.
The Mark.
Oh, the Mark game. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. What's
yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for that too. But
right? The Mark game. Have we
Now I
explained
need
this
to
to you,
look at
Mr.
the other
Johnson?
one.
Right. How the Mark game works is every now and again he'll get up and leave for some reason. What he'll normally do is he'll give you a noun and a would it be an adjective? Oh, bollocks! He's back. I'll tell you later. So let's pop. Right, have you all got the map loaded?
Yep.
Oh, good lord.
So let's make everything visible to you. So you guys are here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move. So we're all the way back. Nordan and Leggit tried to stealth around. It's Leggit that they heard. So you two are slightly ahead. And I'm going to put the. Let's for now call them Draconians.
Right.
Is that what it says on them?
Yeah.
We wouldn't know the Draconians, right?
No, you've never seen these things before. They're just totally alien to you. As these four start to approach with short sword out, their wings behind, and these bestial lizard type features, you can see that Sir Brian and Sir Justin must have put up a decent fight, because all four of these have taken hits. They're all injured. Let's roll initiative.
Right, I've selected my Lado, Dave, and I haven't got the roll initiative option on map tools. It just pops up on the side. I've got everybody else's, but I haven't got the roll initiative box. It's usually on the other side, isn't it? And that's just not there.
That is the selected tab, Mark. So if you go to window at the top.
Window. Yep.
And make sure the selected tab has got a tick next to it.
It just says initiative.
Right, so you need the selected tab open.
Yeah. Window.
Let's make this a bit bigger. Oh, cool.
So
I rolled
hang on,
really
I've got Map
poorly.
Explorer, campaign chat connections, show transfer
I rolled
window.
twice by accident.
Okay, mate. It's 22 and 23, so you were going first anyway, mate.
I rolled surprisingly well. I'm quite impressed.
Oh,
With my plus one initiative, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I got a +3 and I rolled a 3.
Something right. I'm not showing, I'm sure.
Mark, so you've got at the top, map on the map tools, you've got File, Edit, Map, View, Tool, and Window.
Yep.
Yep. Open Window.
Yep.
And go. Have you got a tick next to Selected?
No.
Right. Tick that.
In. Yay! Nice one. Rightio then. Initiative.
Okay, so Leggit, even though there's two different types. In fact, I'm going to give you the other one as well. So this is the fella that seemed to be the leader, and he's now started to run in the opposite direction with two of these other lizard type creatures. They've all seen you, but you're first to react. What do you want to do?
So Leggit's going to take one look at these chaps and realise they're trouble. Looking at the destruction that they've left in the wake and stuff, he's going to know the trouble. Need to act now. Need to act fast. So he's going to whip out his sling. His sling.
Okay. Get his slog out. Like that guy in The Preacher.
He's going to slyly pick up a rock on the floor, load his sling. I'm saying sling now instead of sling. We get around and take a pop shot at this one closest to him. If I've got line of sight, on him. This guy here.
From where you are, there's quite a few trees in the way.
Okay.
They're not.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll take a little bit of movement. I'll take support movement. There.
Yeah.
So now I've got line of sight on him. Yeah. Shot with my sling. See how it goes.
Right. First attack roll of the whole campaign here, Johnson.
Sweet.
Flat on me face.
No pressure.
That's a. Oh no.
He's twatted him.
You've twatted it.
I've twatted him.
That's a damage roll.
I don't need the gun, John. I don't need the gun. Sorry, I went a bit Bennett from Commando there.
You did. The rock takes off, impacts on this the shoulder of this creature as you hear the ting, knocks him off his stride ever so slightly, but he's still coming at you. Any further bonuses or for level 1? That's your lot. You've got another 20 movement if you wish.
It's a bug.
I'm going to retreat a little bit behind some cover, just in case these guys do have a ranged attack.
Seems fair.
Behind this tree here.
Okay, right.
I've got no bonus action at level 1. Is that right?
I don't think so, mate. Not. It's very unlikely. So that takes us to Kel.
So Kel is just going to move up as far as he can, probably to leaving space on his left. So can I stand in that space where that horse is, Dave?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
So he's going to move there, and he's going to ready an action. So if one of the Draconians come at him, he's going to take a big old swing.
Wicked. Which, as it stands, is their turn. So I'm gonna go with the damaged one first then. So this guy is gonna launch towards. He's taken hits from the Kender, and he sees the threat of the half elf in front of him. But he looks like he's going to try and skirt round. So he looks like he's going to try and go past you. So do you want to take your attack roll now then?
Yeah.
Tom?
If he's going to try and get past me towards my friends, he's definitely going to take that swing. He's nah.
Cool.
So he's going to take the big old swing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, 22 hits. Roll your damage.
Boff.
12 damage. Nice. That's enough to kill him. What does it look like when you take him down?
So I think just as he's going through, he just kind of brings it big slung from top shoulder down through his waist, just diagonal cut straight across. Just
is it a great sword?
Yeah.
You so could do that. I've seen Doug Mark-Ida do it to pigs on Forged in Fire.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly what I'm looking for. Just woof.
So
kind of ends kind of slightly in like a slightly crouched, because obviously the momentum of that would pull him down to almost one knee.
Okay, right. So as this, I'm gonna, I'm a shit DM. I'm just gonna call him a draconian. As this draconian dies and literally slices it in half, Kel would be the first to notice this, and the rest of you become aware that the two halves of the body actually turns to stone, and as the two halves of the body fall to the floor, as they impact the floor, this gas suddenly appears from the stone body. So, Tom, make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
I've never seen this type of draconian.
Oh, my luck continues to prevail.
Nice. So as this cloud, and it's almost like what are the mushrooms called? You know, when you kick them and they explode into that type of thing. Puffball. Thanks,
That's
Mark.
what they're called.
So as this happens, you sort of you get this scent, and it's an acrid smell, and all of a sudden you start to feel as if your limbs are seizing up, but you shrug it off and carry on. Which takes us to the rest of the Draconians. They have a movement. It's only 30. Right. That.
Bit of Monica. A little fish.
Okay, so only one comes into range of Kel. As his companion drops to the floor turns to stone and have this puffball effect, this Draconian runs towards you, and he looks like he knows what he's doing. He's holding this short sword, and he drops his left shoulder, and he swings round to the right, and he swings twice to try and hit Kel. The first one is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Wow.
And as he drops his shoulder, he picks it up and stabs forwards for 7 points of piercing damage.
Oh, Jesus H.
And he swings for a second time as it pierces through your left shoulder, withdraws the sword and tries to stab again for a 15 to hit.
That misses.
Okay.
That doesn't break my arm anyway.
Yeah. That takes us to Arthas.
Right. Here I am. Where's where are you, Tom? I can't see you on the map.
I'm right here, mate.
Right, I'll
Yeah.
hang on, if to move next to that's 30 feet. I can move to there. And I'm gonna take a swing at this one straight in front of me.
Okay, go for it.
Right. Longsword. Hey. Shut up, weirdo. 21.
Oh, that's not appeared.
No, it's not, is it?
21 hits. Roll your damage.
Damage. Oh, 1. So 5 damage. That's pass.
Where is the game log? Why's my game log disappeared?
I don't know. Mark's isn't rolling for some reason.
I can see the damage.
Oh, there's the
I didn't
damage.
see
Yeah, it's
the
appeared.
hit.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that?
That
did do much damage like?
That one great. I think that's you done as well, dude, isn't it?
It is. I'm a first level fighter. There's fuck all else.
That takes us to Nordan.
So Nordan will now realise he's in danger. A bit like Ralph from The Simpsons. I'm in danger. And we'll probably say that out loud as well. He will probably be like, "Oh shit!" So he's going to dap behind the boys, round the back of the cart, behind the boys. Put that nice wall of steel and flesh between him and the enemy, and then he's going to cast Ice Knife at this chappy here.
Wicked, nice.
Give it some pasty.
So that's to hit to start off with.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Sam.
Natural 20.
I've literally just been listening to the magical effect as well. It's been great.
So it's damage for him, and then I need to save for him and everyone within 5 feet, isn't that?
Yes.
That's me as well, isn't it?
No, shouldn't be. So that's one hit.
Fuck.
Oh no, is the spell normally a 2d10?
Yeah, good question. It should tell you now. What does it say now for damage?
Standard's 1d10.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
2d6.
Yeah. So it's automatically made it a 2.
Oh, you gotta love D&D Beyond.
So 18 points of damage, and then unless he's already dead, him and the other chappie need to make a dex saving throw.
Okay.
15.
So yeah, he's dead. He's killed outright. So the dex save for the other chappie only rolls a 9.
So he then takes 60 or take 2d6 of cold damage.
Okay. 2d6.
Face.
Ice knife is good.
7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Is just enough because Scalebane loosened him up to take him down.
Nice.
So here's a question for you, Sam. Nordan, as a lunar sorcerer, is that his subclass? Is
Yes,
it lunar
he's
sorcerer?
red robe. Yeah.
What does it look like when you summon your magical powers? Is it the same for every spell? Is it different for every spell? Is there something funky happens, or is it quite subtle? Or
I like to think the colour of his eyes will change. So for this particular one, because it was ice, his eyes will just suddenly go this bright blue, like White Walker blue. Do you know what I mean?
Wicked,
And
yeah.
he'll have his hand because he knows he's going to throw, so his hand will go back, and you'll just see the mist start to form as the shape of the knife appears, and he'll just, as it all just then, it was almost like it's there for a second, and he's got his bright blue eyes, and it all just disappears as the knife comes out of his hand.
yes, you do.
They shatter on
Yeah.
impact, don't they, as well? It's really quite
that
nice.
was why I was hoping for something like that where they'd group together,
Yeah.
but not too close to you guys. I could pull that off.
Yeah.
So both of these draconians now collapse. They freeze. Both from the frost turn to stone, and as they turn to stone and collapse to one side, this of gas comes up. Kel and Arthas, Constitution saving throw, please.
Constitution saving throw coming. So. Natural 1.
Nice.
So
So, as
sorry, boys.
Kel, it's the second time you've experienced this, so you're kind of ready. As this cloud appears, you straight away go into your elbow and try and cover up. Arthas, you did see it happen, but you're not quite as on the ball. And this,
I don't know where the ball is. I've seen it for ages.
No, you've eaten the ball. You feel your muscles tense, and you all of a sudden you don't have any control of your legs. You are, in game terms, you are restrained.
Paralyzed.
No, not yet. You are restrained. So your speed becomes 0. You can't benefit from any bonuses to speed at all. Attack roll against you has advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. I do believe I have a restrained.
You can apply it to your sheet, I think. I think that you can apply it in conditions marks. If
Should
there's
do
your
it.
armor
needed
class
to.
defenses conditions, you can apply it there if you need to.
So after
Not HP.
after this has happened and Nordan's thrown this ice, would out of interest, would the other guys have witnessed you do something like this before? Is this a new skill that you've developed, or is
maybe not the ice knife, but they know he can throw a bit of magic.
okay? Right, cool.
Maybe that's probably one of the most impressive things I've seen him do.
Yeah.
Because
well, I was impressed. He did a lot more damage than me.
after that stealth thing, he's known to prat around and get it wrong sometimes. But be like, fucking hell, where'd that come? You know what I mean? It's that sort of thing.
Right.
We know you can fight, but shit the bed.
Cal was probably going to look at you and fucking hell, mate.
Right, I'm just going to top my drink.
And I'm going to nip for a wee myself. So the Mark game, Andy, it was a bit boring then. Normally it's I'm gonna wrestle the hamster. I'm gonna vacuum the toaster. During the game,
this is every time.
Every time. Every session,
Okay.
you can go with the noun or the verb. Would it be a verb? It's an action, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a noun and a verb. You tell me either a verb or a noun. I write it down, and if any of you gets it right, you get a magic item. Did we say magic item?
I know for Pathfinder it's a wand of cure light wounds, but I don't know how you guys do it in your other games.
Yeah. So we'll say a magic item. But all right.
When we're starting with that
Now,
now.
so tell me quick, because I'm going to go for a wee.
I'm going to say
Run
brushing.
or running.
Go on, Andy.
I'll
Sorry.
go with mop.
Run or running. Could have
Running.
like both. Yeah. Run.
Right. So Andy
I'm
is
gonna run
running.
too.
Sam, you said mop.
Yep.
And Tom,
Brushing.
brush. Like it. Back in a sec.
It's so funny.
You come out with some random ass shit as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think I've recovered from our last D&D session, Andy. With all our dead characters coming back.
I'm just going to grab a drink over 2 seconds. I can still hear you, I just won't be on camera.
I just remember spending most of the night taking my headphones off, going, for fuck's sake.
I was thinking like this could be it for Valkyrie. Thinking I can't let him go. I can't.
No.
Purely for the fact that he's not the most interesting of characters, but purely for the fact that he's been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
I've got to see him through to the end now, and they've got a plan for him.
Pete.
I was just saying I've not recovered from the last Curse of Strahd session. Still a bit of emotional damage here, Dave.
It was harsh, mate. It was harsh. It was.
Did he kill you again?
No, it's worse.
I resurrected
They
their
didn't
old
bring-
characters, mate.
They didn't bring
Suffer
back
from
an old
dying again.
zombie Lancelot or anything like that.
I can still hear you guys.
Isn't that?
Okay. What say, Andy?
Bring back Lancelot at some point. What did you do?
Lancelot turned into a hellhound.
Yeah, that was it. It's all about a trauma, isn't it, this lad?
Yep.
It's all about a trauma.
So what's going to happen now? Let me just take the 1 second. Right.
Ooh. It's a pinging noise.
Okay. So what's going to happen now is from ahead to the east, you can hear as things seem to be going your way. With this fight, you're still these alien creatures, whatever they are. They're clearly a threat. They're organised. They know what they're doing. And now that Arthas has just been frozen, and it's almost as if you can move, but your legs won't work for some reason. It's a strange sensation, and you cry out to your fellows. You hear fighting from the east, and the Draconians that ran away, they appear again. Let me just pop them on, and they're now running back towards you. So the one that looks like the leader in the front and the two behind, and they're looking over their shoulder as you see two other humanoid figures enter from around a corner. One, and the obvious one, is fucking huge. I mean, he's sort of Hodor big. He's clearly got mixed blood of some description, and he's raging. He's got this two-handed axe, two-handed axe that he's running forwards. And oh, you little fuckers! And he's got another smaller human fella, clearly a warrior type with a scimitar out, and they're chasing these draconians towards you. The lead draconian, he turns around and he says, "You two, stop them!" And these draconians, the ones that you've been facing, stop and turn back, leaving this guy in the center. So where I'm going to take it now is I'm going to take it back to the top of initiative. Leggit, you've seen what's happening further up the road. What would you like to do?
So, Leggit's getting a bit excited. I mean, first off, he's going to look over towards Nordan. He's not seen the ice dagger move before. He's going to look at Nordan, look at his sling, look back at Nordan, and throw his sling on the floor. Bit of romp, and go, "Yes, that was awesome!" Before sort of like dusting himself off and picking up a sling up, because he realises he ain't got ice daggers, so he needs his sling. We've still got this chap alive down here, right, Dave?
Correct, yes.
I'm going to have to, not within 5 feet, sneak attack.
Yeah, no, you've not had a chance to use it yet, have you?
Oh no, he's not in 5 feet, is he? I've not had advantage, so I'm just going to move in. Have we still got the gas emitting from the dead draconids? If I move through it, am I going to have to make a Constitution saving throw?
Right, let me just reread it because I went over the rule and no, I'm going to say no. The pretty much as a spore cloud would, it sort of and then dissipates. So its effect is now, in theory, gone.
Just a quick, sorry to delay. Just a quick question about a sling in regards to ammunition. Is it free ammunition, as in I can pick rocks up from the ground or whatever I can fill it with?
Yeah, generally speaking, you would have what would be known as a bullet. So you'd buy from the shop sort of steel-clad balls, but a stone will do. I believe, Mark, you're the weapons expert.
Yeah, I mean the sling stones would. I mean, does it say sling stones? Does it call them sling stones?
In fifth edition, it's not specific, because I know in second E you used to have sling stones and sling bullets used to do different damage, but it's just the sling damage now.
Right. Well, in that case, if it makes no difference to damage, then I mean, any slinger would know which types of pebble, because it's always pebbles, that are smooth, not jagged. What rocks are right. So I mean, it could have theoretically shitloads of them, because every time you pass a stream, you'd be saying, right, that one would be nice.
Yeah. So unlimited, then we'll say I'm quite comfortable with that.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to move past the dead draconians just to get line of sight on this chap down here.
Yep.
And stepping over, or even onto the draconid statue, to get a bit of height. And yeah, another pop shot with my sling, please, sir.
Sure, go for it.
Are we having a dick measuring contest again, Andy?
Which is not to do with who's got the biggest dick, but who measures it the best.
we had this when Brungrick first joined the campaign. When Brungrick joined the campaign.
Be a 12 to hit, Dave?
No, Mrs. Stone flies into the brush. Anything else?
Good at all tonight. No, just a bit of movement backwards, I think.
Yep.
That line of sight.
So just add. So I didn't bring their stat blocks up.
Monkey trousers.
I didn't bring their monkey trousers up.
That's
I
just not
keep
good enough.
I keep calling the Games Workshop thing stat blocks. The data sheets aren't they in 40k?
Yeah.
Dirty
Weirdly-
sheet.
Would have known what you knew. Would have known what you meant though, Dave.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. The war scrolls in Age of Sigmar, aren't they?
I heard two. I earwigged at two. There was two students sat behind me on the bus home from work today, and one of them said, "Oh, the only bit, the start of the conversation I've got is, no, man, once you've bought an army, that's it, your life will change." I wonder what they're talking about. And yeah, it was 40k.
It's sweeping through this lot, you know. It's Lewis has spent hundreds and hundreds of
Crazy.
pounds.
And he's got 3 things.
In the space of
just
like
really
weeks
cool.
as well. It's not even measured in months. This is literally in weeks, isn't it? It's madness.
His first lot was when we went to York in November, and it's just got downhill from there, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's grabbed him big time. Right, so this sort of bald-headed human figure, who clearly knows what he's about. He moves fluidly, and as he steps up to the Draconian, he's going to take a swing with his scimitar. First swing, however, you can see he's a little bit nervous about it. Although he knows what he's about, he's not too sure. And his first swing missed, and his second swing misses.
Who's this numpty?
Yeah, and he turns to the big lad and he says, Dragonlance, I'm going to need a little bit of help here. He's apparently a dwarf as well.
Yeah.
I revert to Russian normally, so it's, you're doing better than I do.
I'll give it a go. No, I can't do it. I just can't do accents. So Kel's turn.
So Cal has noticed these guys are in.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's paying attention enough to know that he's missed his attacks, but he saw these guys know what they're about and kind of dismissed them because his friends stood next to him. There's a guy that could quite easily step in and take advantage. Have I noticed that he can't really move his legs? If I picked up on that?
Yeah, I've been going, what the fuck? I can't. That's the sort of gestures and the noises I've been making.
Yeah, and what I'd also say, Tom, because you've been in this spore cloud, so you've felt and shrugged it off, so you're pretty, you know what's happened.
Yeah. So in which case, Cal's gonna plug that gap, and then he's gonna step up, so he's almost in between.
Okay.
This unfriendly figure and his good friend, and he's gonna take another big swing.
Sure.
Kind of recklessly, not he knows that he's hurt, but he doesn't give a shit about that. His friends are in trouble, and it's time to stand and bang. Do you know what I mean? So
stand and bang.
I don't think that's going to do it.
It's not. So as you step forward, the red mist has descended. This lithe serpentine figure is just too quick for you. As you try and swing, he's got the measure of you now, and it looks like his sword's ready to fall down and pierce straight through you. Before he does act, however, this other Draconian in the background is going to. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add.
Masturbate furiously like a chimp in a cage.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give these two lads at the back their go first, so because there's two different groups of them, and they're going to start and stand and fight. This one's going to move into a position where he's going to intercede the big lad, but they're going to attack. Both of them attack this character here. So it is 50.
Oh, this should be your first experience of Dave with NPCs, Tom. He kills them off left, right, and centre. Don't expect them to do anything useful.
Has anyone seen the Critical Role episode where they summon a bronze dragon to help them? And it's just shit. It just misses every natural one, no, 2. Eventually, they just kill the other dragon anyway. Done anything.
So these two draconians, as they move to flank this character here, and you can see as this one's attacking, he's sort of hissing, trying to get his attention. So this one then darts in and stabs. So they take a good chunk off him, and there's sort of a spray of blood as they connect his shoulder, and another spray of blood as they connect to his other side. And then it's the turn of this lad, and he is going to go into a proper flanking position now. Now that his two oppos have attacked, and he is going to he draws 2 daggers from sheaths in his braces.
Underpants.
Oh, that's lucky. As the first dagger connects, it only just knocks against his shoulder, but again there's this sort of this hiss, and whoever this human is, he's in agony now as this thing starts to hiss, and the wound opens properly, which takes us to our other draconian friend down here, who Mark, you seem to have moved, mate.
Yeah, well, I didn't realise. I was trying to measure distance, and I thought that's where I was. Please put me back where you know I was.
Think you were there? Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right.
Right.
Sorry,
these
boo.
Yeah, no, it's all right, dude, because it doesn't matter, because I can still move around, and I can still get to you. So as
that's what I say.
As Kel tries to swing down, you can see there's just a feral intelligence behind the eyes of this creature, and it has a killing blow on you, and it thinks, and you can tell what it's thinking. It's thinking, no, I'm going to kill the other one. And it sidles round. It has 2 attacks with advantage against Arthas. The first one is a 17 to hit Arthas.
That misses.
17 misses.
Yep.
Second attack is a 17.
Misses.
Wow.
So both attacks, as it runs round, shield, sword, you manage to deflect 2.
I appear to have an armor class of 18. I don't really know how that's happened, but
Chainmail and the shield will do that, mate.
Chainmail and the shield. The tank up, and it is Arthas' turn.
Right, so there's a ladder straight in front of me now. I can't move.
Yes. Restraint. Yeah, you can't move, and your attack rolls have disadvantage.
Right, well, I'll have a swing at him anyway.
Okay.
There's all else I can do. Do I get another saving throw, or do I not?
At the end of your turn, you will need to make another saving throw.
Right. Okay. So, take a swing at Jeffrey there.
Yep.
And I'm going to use precise strike if it only counts if it hits.
Okay.
Precise
strike you roll with advantage, so that cancels the disadvantage. So you roll normally.
So once per turn, make weapon attack. Oh yeah, I was reading the end bit, not the first bit as well.
It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you miss, you can do it again.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay. So I'm just a normal roll now. Yeah.
You are a normal roll.
Give it a go. Give it a go. 13.
Just manages to dodge it. As your legs don't move, it's almost as if your shoelaces are tied and you almost trip over yourself. It's a shame, Mark, but you get to keep that feature. So it's another Constitution saving throw, please.
Constitution saving throw coming up.
Go on, mate. Go on, do it.
Oh, man.
That'll do it. 23.
Yeah.
You shrug off the effects. You are no longer restrained. Let me just double check on a success. The effect ends. Yeah. So let's get rid of restraint from you.
Yes.
Nordan.
So, if I was to push the Draconian back 5 feet in a certain direction, So it was moving out of combat with Tom and Mark characters.
Yeah.
Would they both get attacks of opportunity?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice one.
I'm going with this, don't you, Dave?
Yes.
So he's going to run to the cover there behind this cart.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use the cantrip Gust on that Draconian.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I need a strength saving throw.
What's your
Come on,
DC?
you ones.
13. So it's an easy pass.
Rolled a 7.
Did he pass?
Rolled a 7.
So he moves 5 feet away from me, which would then trigger them to get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Here it comes.
So
Right, this will be a disadvantage.
why?
Oh no, I'm not, because I'm not. Yes, it won't be. You're quite right. I'm going in. Oh, missed.
You're not.
Yeah, I'm not going. Well, no, I'm still there. I just didn't do anything.
Oh, boys.
Natural one. Yeah.
Negative.
Boys.
It
I
just
really need to change
impacted
the
on the
dice
surface.
profile as well.
Didn't go in.
Negative.
Just impacted on the surface.
Just impacted on the surface. I think that's it then from Nordan, isn't it?
That's all I can do, yeah.
That was a move
That
as
was-
well, dude. What a shame. Right.
I know,
We
you
both
see where I was
missed.
going with this, don't you?
That was a natural one. Do I get anything negative for that, Dave?
No.
You get inspiration, don't you?
Actually, the new rules in 1D&D, you now get inspiration for that.
All right.
Inspiration, by the way, goes after a long rest.
Okay.
And I believe humans, Mark,
Get it every day.
Well-being.
at the start of every day, or after every long rest.
So
I like to play test the rules. Apparently, they don't listen, but I like to play test them. I'm sure they do. Right. So this massive figure, whatever he is, he now takes his
penis out.
penis out and tries to attack this Whoa! And he similarly to you guys. Ooh. However, he severs. Oh, wait a minute! I told you a lie. Shit.
Wasn't me. Don't
No,
look at
not
me.
quite. 16.
I'm irrelevant.
So he takes a massive swing, and half destroys this Draconian. That takes us back to the top of the list and Leggit, which is a shame. Well, actually, no, not necessarily, because you can potentially have sneak attack on 3 targets now.
I was going to ask that, but is that classed as an ally that I can?
For these purposes, you're fighting the same opponents. And it would make sense because they're kind of distracted as well.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to if I perform an acrobatics check, can I do that? Climb up onto the cart to get elevation. That give me advantage to hit. Can I do that?
Yeah, why not? I'll tell you what then. I'll tell you the DC as well because it's relatively straightforward. If you roll an acrobatics check over 10, then for this shot and this shot alone, you can have advantage.
Cool. It in there, some
Go on then. Who do you want to hit?
Sound. I'm going to go for the big boy.
For this lad, yeah.
Or leader. Yeah. I'll get my sneak attack.
Right. Roll to hit with advantage then. I didn't hear what Mark said, by the way. He's not playing today, is he?
No, he's not. Maybe he's cottoned on.
But he's got no idea about this game.
No. I know he doesn't watch the YouTube back. I mean, why would you watch yourself?
Oh, good.
15 just hits.
Oh.
bless you.
Is it two? It's
Uh,
2d6
so-
first level sneak attack, isn't it? Oh no, 1d6.
1d6, mate. Yeah. So that is 4 plus. Why are my dice already all of a sudden rolling really, really slow? 9.
Oh, no.
Quick math.
Nice. Okay, so takes a solid. It hits the back of this draconian on the shoulder as he hisses and looks around towards you. And this draconian now is taken in the field. He's seen what's happened to his fellows and what's happening in front of him, and he spins back towards this human in front of him. Anything else from you, Mr. Johnson?
I believe I've got 10 foot of movement, so I'm just going to take myself
Good man.
just back to the line of,
Yeah, sure.
they're all standing rather than me leading the charge.
Yeah.
I'm a small guy.
So, here we go with the NPCs. Before Sam tells me off again. So he has 6. That'll do it. Okay. So, having seen this draconian almost get severed in half and distracting this lad, he lunges swings his scimitar with some force. So I've got Constitution saving throws to make for them then. So, yeah, he passes, and the big lad rolls a natural 1. So the big lad starts to. He says, "What? Oh, how do you do a Russian? It is. He's no good.
Yeah, it's very lots of V's instead of W's. Lots of emphasis on the V sound.
What?
Wessels.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's it. Russian call is what the fuck?
He's like being in motherland."
I'm there, Dave. I am in there.
Yeah.
Did I transport you? I'll do that. I've killed Johnson, but which takes us to Kel's turn.
Okay,
Wait,
so
you run a game then, Johnson.
I genuinely love it.
yeah, voices are hard, man. Voices are hard.
I've never been able to do them.
Fucking hell.
I struggle, as you've probably noticed, but I try.
No, you're better than me. You're better than me, Tom. It's not difficult to be better than me.
So noticing the group he's noticing the group on the left. Feels like they've got a handle on that. So how do you feel about the optional flanking rule, Dave?
Yeah, no, I'm on board with. Well, I say that
because it's optional in D&D 5th.
Yeah,
and it's advantage on the attack, isn't it? As I recall,
it is. I'm intrigued to see where you're going to go with it.
So I'm going to pull up behind this guy here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make my attack.
Okay.
With the hopes that Arthas can close.
Gotcha.
I can give it a go when it's my goal.
Make your attack roll, then.
Obviously, I won't get the advantage, but
come round the other side. If you can make it round to the other side, so you're there instead. If he takes a swing at you, I can intervene.
You won't get flanking though, will you? Then I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm trying to set up.
Yeah. Sorry, that's
yeah. I'm trying to set up so that me and you are flanking, basically, to give you the advantage. So, and you know, Cal is something you know about Cal is he's not afraid to take a hit. You know, he'll take it. He'll take the brunt. He's not. So.
Right. Is it?
No, this is.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Anything else?
I don't think there's anything I can do as a bonus, mate. Be honest, at this level. So no.
Okay.
What class are you?
Paladin.
Okay.
So we have the this draconian here.
It's not bad.
What's he? 22, 5. Right, yeah.
What are you, Mark? Fighter.
Yeah, Mark's a fighter.
Paladin. And what are you, Sam?
Wizard. No, sorcerer. Sorry, sorcerer. That's why I don't have a wand.
Ah,
You still need an arcane focus, though, don't you?
I have
Yep.
one. It's a ring, I think.
Right, cool.
I think
Okay,
it
so
was.
this
I can't remember. I've got some.
this draconian's still doing damage to this lad over here, which takes us to what looks like the lead draconian.
Holy symbol remove. What do I think about it? Oh.
don't you neep at me, young man. No.
Right. This lad, he feigns an attack against this human, and then he doubles back, and then he sheathes his knives and starts to run. And he runs into the forest and into cover. What I'm going to do is give him. Right, he's rolled well. He has disappeared into the shadows. And in the cut and thrust of the fight, you can no longer see him. That takes us to the draconian on you two guys. He's only got one obvious target, which is going to be Cal. So 2 stabs are going to come towards Cal. The first one is 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
4
Just.
points of piercing damage.
4. I'm still standing.
Second attack, 14 to hit.
Nah, miss. I'm still standing.
That was. I should imagine that. No, Mark. No.
No, okay.
I should imagine that was close. It is your turn. Arthas' turn, Mark.
Right. Close in.
Yep.
Precise strike again. And do I get advantage?
Well, yeah, you can't get double advantage, but yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Mark. Finish him off.
Here we go.
19 hits.
Right. So I'm using one of me Squire of Solomnia things. So if the attack hits, you roll a d8 and add the number rolled as a bonus to the attack's damage. So I'll roll normal damage. So my normal longsword damage is. I've just rolled to hit again. I'll roll damage, eh? So that's yeah, that's 10 there, and the d8, another d8.
Nice.
And that adds to the roll.
It does, so 17 damage.
No.
Yes.
That is nice. He was on 11, so it's enough. How do you want to kill him?
I'll just take the head. It's a one-handed swing with a sword, but it's going to be a full-on, starting off over the shoulder. I'm just going to swing and take his head clean off.
Okay. As his head flies off, his body turns to stone and collapses to the floor as this this mist appears.
I'll
Arthas
jump
and
back.
Kel. Unlucky.
Oh, unlucky. Here we go again.
Looks to be the front line.
15.
Yeah. Now that you're in the swing of this, both of you go behind your shields or manage to wave this cloud away. Neither of you are affected. Would Arthas care to move?
Yeah, now we've taken him out. We've got. There's still a fella over there, isn't there? So I'm going to do 1. What's my movement? 30.
You've got 25 left, mate, because you moved 5 feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So I'll move to there.
Sound.
And that'll be me done.
Nordan.
So now that he's dropped the Nordan, will say, "About time, boys. I set it up and everything for you," in his usual jesty way. And then he'll move forward just to the edge of the car because he's aware that he is not as beefy as the boys. He'll throw a firebolt at the last standing enemy.
Wicked, go for it.
To same again, fiery red eyes as he forms this firebolt and completely misses because he's taking the piss out of the boys.
which seems fair. So Dragonlance can't move, and he's you can see he's what is this? Come on,
What is this?
I am stuck like in mud.
Yes.
Leggit, come on, Johnson.
I like beans myself.
All right. We got left. Chat.
Just one opponent on the looks of it.
How much movement have I got? Oh, I've got 30 right up to him. In a brave little.
Stab him with the
he is.
testes.
He is going to walk up to him and stab him right in the penis.
A reasonable amount of
Have you
force.
seen the South Park where Butters keeps shooting people in the dick?
I haven't seen that.
No.
Cartman keeps preventing, Butters, good man, don't shoot a guy in the dick. Does it a lot.
Shot me in the penis. Don't hurt, man. Okay. Yes, Mr. Johnson. Rolled to hit.
So,
Oh, go on.
yeah. He's going to. No, it's all right. He's going to sprint up to him. He's going to knock out his dagger. His literal dagger, not his. And sorry, I've just been playing about with my abilities because I realise I've not taken one of my traits.
Okay.
Sorry. I just quickly do that.
Mm-hmm. If and what we're saying, I'm undecided about the flanking rule. But what we're saying, if you could get there, you are exactly opposite, so you could have advantage to hit if you went there.
Well,
Just so
in
it knows.
Pathfinder, Dave, it's a +2, not advantage. If you feel happier about that.
Oh, ow.
No,
Yeah.
I'll stick. Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Just another option. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
how
know.
Pathfinder-
I know.
Little boy. Meow.
I know what you mean.
So-
It's hard for abuse that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
With his dagger, I get my sneak attack down to because he's within 5 feet.
Yep.
Still. Hit. Be a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
David.
Little bastard shot me in the ass.
Got me in the buttock.
Oh,
Great,
shot
isn't
in
it?
the buttock.
You can sit with a group of people and just say one line, and everyone gets the reference.
Be 11 points of damage.
That's a
Karen?
nice, solid hit. It's not quite enough to kill him, unfortunately, but it's a good
Oh,
hit.
fuck off, Dave.
That fella wasn't injured. He was fresh meat. If it was one of the other ones, you'd have taken it down. It's a shame. Always the bridesmaid, Andy. So it's the NPC's turn. Let's see if he can kill him. Not quite. He has had a solid hit on him, but he doesn't quite kill him. Kel's turn.
Stop it now.
Okay, so seeing that Arthas has moved to kind of get engaged. I mean, he can only see one of the Draconians at this point anyway.
Yeah,
because of the tree. But seeing that Arthas has moved off, he's going to stop and take a minute, and use his lay on hands on himself.
That's a good move.
Okay. Oh, you can't.
What?
That would be a divine ability.
Oh, of course, and I haven't got an arcane focus. Yeah, of course.
And well, you haven't got a god.
That's also true, yeah.
Oh,
For the
that's
moment, I'm effectively
brutal.
5 to Lana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I was just going to say on my character sheet, and I forgot that I'd not got.
So you're in essence a declassified paladin, not declassified. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I'm not quite an Oathbreaker paladin, but
Yeah, it's almost Oathbreaker, and that's the word I was looking for.
sorry. So in which case, I'm going to double move then. So I'm going to 60 feet.
Sure.
I'm going to put myself, I think, there. Oh, hang on. Let me get me. So I'll probably make a call. Yeah. So I'll pull over to this corner.
Yeah.
I think I should have enough.
Yeah.
So then set the paths up for an easy. We're going to surround this guy and we're going to finish him
Okay.
off basically.
While we're on the subject, well, I did mention to you that you would have visions.
Yes.
Would you have shared your visions with the other party members, or is it something that's personal to you?
I think in the past he's probably been a bit cagey about it. So I think he doesn't just have them in his sleep, but he's had them in the daytime.
Right.
Some of them just look like he's daydreaming. Some of them may have even been in the form of epileptic fits.
Okay.
But I think he's always been a little bit cagey about talking about it in the past.
Right.
Because he doesn't know what it means.
Okay, sure.
But that might be. I mean, we've been apart a few years. That might be different now. But that'll be.
Okay. Have you got that on your notes or anywhere?
No, I'll be honest. Everything I've got is written down on pen and paper because I've been doing it at work. Okay. I forgot to chuck it on my chuck it on the sheet. I'll chuck it on now for you.
Well, I mean, yeah, don't make it feel like homework. But if you could let me know, just take a picture of it and send that or whatever. So that's your turn. So that takes us to the actual Draconian then. So he's got a choice of 3. And I'm going to make this a D3 roll that someone who isn't involved. Sam, roll D6 for me, please. 1 and 2 is Leggit. 3 and 4 is Kel. 5 and 6 is that's Leggit. 2 attacks on. Well, that kind of makes sense because the Kender's just torn him a new arse. So first attack against. He's not there.
Where does additional rectum come from? I never used to have this. It's quite sore.
2. First one misses. Oh, he rolls a 7 and a 5, so I can that misses Mr. Johnson quite easily. So we can remove that. That takes us to Arthas. You're up.
Right, so there's only Jeff there, isn't there? So I'm just going to like a big rubber Johnny and twat him in the face.
Sure.
And I'll go for another my second cheesy ring piece just in case I hit.
If and just again, that would be a flanking position that you've gone past.
Oh, in that case,
because you're directly opposite.
Yeah, I won't use the last one then. I'll just attack with advantage for the flanking.
Okay.
23.
23. So you have to stand there. 23 hits. Roll your damage.
Damage is
11. So Arthas, Kel, Leggit, and the NPC Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, failure.
Yes.
Nice.
20.
Not this time, boys.
No. What I'm going to need to do, because the fight is effectively over, what I'm going to need is Arthas and Kel to make another saving throw.
Another Constitution?
Constitution saving throw.
I won't.
Ooh, and you both fail. What you guys see now then, Kel and Arthas wouldn't be aware of this. Let me just, give me 1 second, let me just double check. It's the first time I'm using it. Right, how am I going to get this to manifest? So what happens now is, as this draconian falls to the floor dead, a puff of smoke, both Kel and Arthas are immobilized. You're aware of it now, and it's more of an annoyance than anything else, except for it doesn't seem to stop at your feet, and it rises. And as it rises, the rest of your muscles take hold, and Nordan and Leggit and these two NPCs would see you're just turned into statues, and you can't move. Your jaws clamp. Your eyes are locked in position. Nothing moves at all.
Can I go?
No.
Oh.
You can't do anything whatsoever. But you're still stood upright. So Nordan and Leggit, your two companions, have just basically, without the turning to stone effect of petrified, they're petrified. They're stock still. What do you want to do?
I roll an Arcana or investigation or something to see if I am aware of what's going on.
Sweaty.
If you wanted to make sure they're okay, it would be a medicine check, I would guess.
No, sorry, to gain an understanding of what the effect is that's happened to them.
But again, you wouldn't know. It's not something. It's totally alien to you. You wouldn't have any knowledge of it. If you wanted to make sure that they're physically okay, the only thing I could think of would be a medicine check, unless you could
Me batty.
reason me through something else.
No, it would be, wouldn't it? What's your medicine like, Andy? I've got a +1.
Not very good.
I shut up.
Yeah, +1 me.
You.
I'll roll and see if I can make sure they're okay, at
Okay.
least. No. I am completely
Yeah.
clueless.
No, so it's. I mean, as you both sort of checking them out, these two other, this big one sort of wanders over to the little fella, and now that you've seen them, you can see that they both have a similar insignia, which is just looks like a picture of a castle. So it's not something that you're particularly aware of. I don't think you'd have seen it before. And the big lad says, Jeff, what is happening? And this Jeff says, I don't know. And he checks over, or he moves forwards, and you say, lads, can I have a look? I have some expertise in field medicine. Do you mind if I have a look, see if they're okay?
Please, this is well beyond my reading and understanding.
Okay. And he looks.
I'll stand there.
You've got no choice, and you can't say anything. Which, being as you can't say anything, you still manage to fucking say something.
Yeah, I'm standing there.
He says, I don't know what. This is ridiculous, and you two are starting to get worried by this. After a minute, however, all of a sudden, the effect wears off, as if it wasn't there in the first place, and Kel and Arthas all of a sudden can move again. It's the weirdest thing.
I'll go, oh, gee, I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, I think
And this,
Cal slumps to his knees.
and Jay, he'll say, "Well, it's a good job that happened towards the end of the fight. That could have changed the outcome of the whole battle if that happened in the middle." Wow, that was
absolutely.
Well, I don't know, because I was throwing some skills out, if anyone else noticed.
He's to this.
It's never arrogant, though. It's always in jest.
Yeah.
He's always, do you know what I mean? It's all pure comedy for him. He's never mean.
Yeah, and I think Cal with a weak smile on his face kind of looks up and says, "It's about time you did your job, eh?"
So I feel a bit touchy.
So this human figure, he'll sort of see the banter between you, and he'll sort of nod and he'll say, well met then, lads. I'm Jayas, the big lad's Dragonis. We're part of the Ironclad Regiment. I think it's lucky that we came across each other. What brings you to these parts?
If I did come across him, Dave, I'll wipe it off and say I'm sorry.
It's going to be a lot of this, isn't it?
I'll do my best,
what do you-
Andy. I'll do my best.
What regiment were they part of again? Sorry, Dave.
The Ironclad Regiment.
I've got one of those.
Would any of us know anything about that?
You can have a history if you want. Yeah, history.
15.
I'll go for
15's
that
pretty
as well,
good.
I think.
Yeah, so the Ironclad Regiment are a mercenary band. You'd have heard them. A small mercenary band. They're not linked to anything particularly unlawful. They do hire out if mostly clearing out goblins from towns and things of that nature. So not baddies.
Yeah, they're good sort of hire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Me and my friends, you have any sort of quite flourishly Cal over here with his mighty sword.
Nods with his knees.
Arthas the Unbreakable. Leggit, the Little Hider. And of course me, the notorious Nordan. I'm sure you've heard of me. And it's just one big joke in a show. These lads are like, oh, for God's sake.
Jay is enjoying the banter, but he's very sort of coy about it. Gregonis, he says, "Yes, you good in fight, unbreakable. I break you. I break you, good small man.
I must break you."
So he'll say, we were just on the way to Vogler, our leader, Cudgel. She's got us performing in a reenactment. The name Cudgel you would have all heard before. Cudgel, Ispin told you many tales of Becklin and Cudgel. They're his old adventuring party. And Jays will say, yeah, she's the old girl, as they refer to Cudgel. She's got us reenacting the battle between the Istarian forces and the village of Vogler. It's part of the Kingfisher Festival. Apparently there was a local dignitary that died as well. It's the day after that we're the Istarian forces, and Cudgel's in town, just making sure that all the festivities go without a plan. Where were you heading? He'll say to you.
It's a strange old world, this, isn't it?
So we were literally already there. We just heard a commotion and came out, and we needed to check. Which reminds me, Dave, I would have checked as soon as I got out of combat with the bodies of the two fallen knights to see if is there any life left in either of them.
No, both are dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I would have checked that straight away. So we're. I said, oh God, sorry, I'm a little bit mashed now. My sleeping meds are kicking in. I will. Oh yeah. Default to somebody else that's slightly more mentally able.
Well, I tell you what we'll do then, Mark, because it is. I mean, it's 7 minutes past your bedtime, so we'll call the session there, kind of. But what Jays will say, he'll sort of you're still resting for the night here. You've finished a long day of travel. They're going to move on. They'll see you in Vogler. Look forward to seeing you. And he'll say, take part in the reenactment. It's normally a good deal of fun. I mean, people get hurt, but it's fun. And we're going to say, I crush you, little man. I test uncrushable. But it's all sort of good natured. Yeah, so we'll sort of finish the session there, if that's all right.
Well, shall we say, Dave, that because we're literally not very far away, are we, from the keep? So shall we say we go back there?
Yeah.
So we're not camping out for no reason.
I've got a cheeky question. What were the knights carrying?
Well, No, it's not a cheeky question at all. Most of what they were carrying has been ransacked. He beat you to it, Andy.
Yeah, actually, scavenged the Draconians' bodies. Yeah.
The-
What's
They've
And
now
now-
turned to dust.
there's all their stuff turned with them?
No, but it's all battered and used. With the knights, there were 2 longswords unused, or still new. So there's 2 brand new longswords. Their armor, however, is torn to pieces. There's 8 days worth of food and water, and in total 40 gold pieces.
So Nordan will look to Arthas and say, "I am sorry, my friend." He drops the bravado, he drops the jesting.
Yeah.
You know him. You know that. He's quite sincere.
Yeah.
This could be useful for us in our coming travels, and it's always handy to have an extra longsword tucked away for a bad day.
Go for it. I say they've got no use for it anymore. I said we just need to make sure we get their bodies, back to town for give them a decent burial. We don't want to leave them here for the crows.
So longsword, 8 days rations.
Yeah, stick it all
And
down.
40 gold pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
I've got-
longswords.
Yeah, 2 longswords.
Oh,
I've got
do
it.
we want me to take the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can take it. I can use a longsword as well, to be fair. So
Well, okay, I'll take the one because I'm going to equip one because I can
Okay.
use longsword, even though I'm a wizard.
You're an elf.
It's going to suggest
yeah,
that
yeah.
we.
Yeah, I can remember that. But even back in the day, elves used to get bow and eye with long swords, even though they weren't. No, I'll shut up before I get to that point.
What say, Andy?
Young lad still there that we heard screaming.
No, you sort of left him behind. I kind of assumed that Chert would have taken over with him.
Yeah, he'd have been staying at the keep anyway. So yeah, hopefully he's taken him in and calmed him down and sorted him out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as you get back to the keep, Chert will say to you, "Oh, sorry, Andy, you got more."
And I was just going to suggest to the group that we give 2 gold pieces to the lad so we can get a out somewhere and
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
That's
On which
very
note,
good.
it's been an absolute pleasure, gentlemen. I'm going to have to go before I drop off. So
right,
take care, guys, and I hope it will not be too long.
I'll
before
let
the
you know,
next one.
Mark.
Take care, folks. Ta-da.
See that.